Hello everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. You are in 8th grade and I want to explain what it looks like to work with me as an 8th grader. So the first thing is you have to decide, is this the right time to work with me? Is it too early? Leading up to the call with me, you're going to get an email, multiple emails, and in those emails you're going to get the following videos. This first one is 3 minutes long and it says, should you start the recruiting process? And in this particular video, I interview a college soccer coach and she tells us her opinion. And the reason I'm bringing this up is this is video number 1 you're going to see, which is her opinion. Then you're going to see me explaining to a family here, why they should start the recruiting process in 8th grade. And then you're going to see another video here, which literally is about why do you start the recruiting process, and it's a little bit longer video. The reason I bring this up is if you believe it is too early to begin, please don't continue the call. Cancel it and come back to me when you're ready. This call is not to tell you or convince you to start. If you don't think it's the right time, then I don't want to spend the time, to be honest, convincing you it is. I only want to work with players who understand that there's value to starting at this age when you're at a certain level. So if on the call you want to get to know me, I would love, that's why we want to have the call with you. If you say, hey, we want to know if we're the level to start early, I'm happy to discuss that with you. But if you come on the call and you end up by the end of our call going, but is this the right time? Then to be honest with you, I will be relatively frustrated and disappointed because to me it means you didn't watch the content before our call and then we're not the right fit to work together. I want to work with players who were as committed as I was. I dribbled a ball at school. I wore 2 pairs of jeans thinking it would make my legs stronger. I wore a full soccer kit from 8th grade until senior year, shin guards included, because I thought if I wore the clothes more often, it would make me that much better than my opponents. That's how obsessed I was. Those are the kids I'm looking for when it comes to 8th grade. Now, what do we do with an 8th grader, which is a very fair point, and we will talk about it specifically for you, about what we're going to do for you, but this is what it looks like for an 8th grader. So here is an 8th grade example. You're going to get a Google Drive. And on this Google Drive, we talk about quite a few things. But one of the things is I need to make a list for you. So when people say, like, should you start the process? If you do this process in 8th grade, it takes a while, a couple months to get to the point where you're actually doing the process. So 8th grade, part of it is prep. And that's true if I start with a junior or a senior or a sophomore or a freshman. I have to do some prep before we get to email and go to camps, etc. And I don't want to have to prep freshman year or prep sophomore year or prep junior year. It's too late. And just to give you an idea, I only work with like 10% of juniors. Most of my students are in 8th grade, about 60%, then a little bit more, a little bit less, 40% is 9th grade. And then we will do some sophomores as well, but it depends because I'm looking for students to get a scholarships of $100,000 or more and who want to go to the best schools in the country. And I just want to brag for 2 seconds. This is from a family right here. You won't be able to hear the audio, but this is her opening her acceptance letter to a Division III top academic where she got $100,000. And the family here are telling me, I think we can use a bit of the 100K to have you join us for a little trip to go watch her play, which is of course very sweet. And the family have been beyond kind and they've said, thank you for everything times a million. And this is what I'm looking for. We started with her in 8th grade, and that's what it takes to go to a very good school, whether it's Division I or top academic D3. It's very competitive. 33% of the players who played in the NCAA tournament this year were American. The rest were transfers or internationals. That's how competitive it is. So you must start earlier and you must be very good at a young age. So having said that, I am trying to scare you away a little bit right now. And if I manage to scare you away, good. Maybe then you can go focus on soccer for fun and everything else. And one of the things I'm going to talk about on our call is by the end of this little video and by the end of our call when I meet with you, you have to decide if you'd like to work with me, and I have to decide if I want to work with you. And the reason for that is, one, I can only work with so many students because I provide unlimited everything, which we'll talk about. But also, I want to work with the students who are the most committed and are ready to rock and roll. So having said that, I want you to learn if you're the right fit for me. So first of all, we created a D1 list. We created a top academic list. We'll also create a list of majors based off what you might want. As an 8th grader, you may not know, but part of my job is to help you explore that. What would you like to do for a living? Part of what we'll even do is, especially in 8th grade, encourage you to go, hey, why don't you shadow somebody about what you might want to do? Because earlier you find out what you want to major in, and normally we can figure out if you're going to study engineering or public relations or social media, because those are very different. Like if you hate math, you're usually going to hate math forever. So you're not going to be an engineer. Well, that crosses out a bunch of majors, and now we can start to narrow down the list. And that's our job. We want to figure that out with you because it's important. Now, we'll always have our top academic list. This student just signed up yesterday, so we're going to create their top 15 schools, and this will always be what we aim for. Every camp will be focused on this list, but we will have to have another list for a variety of reasons. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, college coaches can't even talk to us. That's why I think it's really important that when you go watch these videos, you will see from these coaches themselves talking about, yes, you can. Like she talks about here, I want you to start in 8th, 9th grade, because if I see you in an 8th grade camp and then I see you in a 9th grade camp, by 10th grade, I can tell you if you're going to be on my team or close to it, which is why we want to do this process. So having said that, I don't want you to start in 8th grade for my own sake. I don't make any more or less money, for example. I just know that the sooner you begin, the more likelihood of getting more money, of finding a school you love, and not being rushed into a place where, you have to make a decision and you haven't explored all your options. Because once an offer is made, you have about 2 weeks to decide if you're going to take it. And I want you to have explored all the options so you can go, I am happy and ready to do this. Not that different to maybe dating. Typically, there are some exceptions, but you want to meet other people before you go, oh, this is how I know this is the person I love, because I've explored, and also this person is so amazing, etc. Okay, so you're going to get this list. Now, the next thing is you're going to get this amazing email system. I'm the only one who has this. I spent my life savings on it, and it's because when you send emails from NCSA or anyone else, which we'll talk about, they will always have their ncsA.org after it, and college coaches hate that. You can ask any coach at any camp, and they'll tell you it better be from your own email. So this connects your own email. We're going to create a list of schools based off what you want to major in. We have a specific top academic section because that's really important. Academics for me always come first. I'm going to press select all. I'm going to click write emails. And then when I do this, I'm going to go dear #coach, #genuine, and then I go #school. And it will automatically populate something genuine, and it will automatically populate the coach's name from your own Gmail, and we can send it to all these coaches in the touch of a button, which is spectacular. Then the system will automatically categorize every email you receive as genuine generic or as genuine, and this is connected to my own email. Every time someone does not respond, it will automatically remind you to respond to the email. Then you have this little robot. This robot has every single ID camp. So you can type in, when is ID camp for UCSB? And it will tell you, here's the ID camp for UCSB. It also has other information like, hey, excuse me, could you please tell me how I should respond to this email? We are your coaches. It's going to be, you'll have a coach and myself, which I'll talk about in a minute. But you may want an instant answer right away. This is ChatGPT, but for college soccer in my voice. It's memorized every video, every recording, every email, and I've fed it into this AI system. So that way you guys can just get responses even faster, which no one else has, because I'm very modern, maybe you could say. But we want to be there with you. You're not going to get recruited because of a robot, but we do want you to be able to get answers right away. Like if you have a phone call in the next 5 minutes for whatever reason, I don't know how to prepare for a phone call. The robot will tell you what to do pretty darn well. It's my voice. You'll see. You'll be like, wow, it sounds a lot like Zev. It is amazing these days. Okay, so now you have this amazing email system. Now, to work with us, this is the part of the meeting when we speak where I'm going to try and scare you away. So first of all, we have to fix your video. I know you probably have a video, but it probably doesn't have a self-interview. The order is probably not perfect, and then we're going to need to make a lot more of it. So I edit unlimited video, which we'll talk about. You have the cool email system. I need to pick camps for you. You've probably already done some things, or you're thinking about doing some things. So I might have to do an audit and figure out like what if you started going to camps, or you think about what schools. So I need to know what you've already done. And then club soccer, especially at your age, this is arguably the main reason to begin. It's odds are you're going to change clubs at some point between now and senior year. Injuries, bad coach, a variety of things. We want to be there with you through that process because it's not easy. I want to create a list of schools for you, and we got to find out who likes you first. And I know you may be saying, I'm only in 8th grade. Who's going to respond to me? That's where I would say, go look at the videos. I'm also going to show you actually one more example. This is from a student who we started in 8th grade. And here, this is, we're texting back and forth. And one of the things that happened, which is really exciting, is Middlebury, which is a top academic school, said to him, this is Coach Pang, said, hey, look, we updated them on, he was switching from a top level team MLS next team to a different one. So we just updated him. And the coach said, wow, Grant, that's great. Big move. Could you please come to our camp? We really are excited. So like, yes, he wants him to come to camp, which can feel money grab, but this is not a money grab. The coach is texting with him in 8th grade. This is a top academic D3 school. You can go look up Coach Payne. And he's, actually going to leave and go to some higher level schools. So now he's spoken to a coach at the D3 level who's now at the Division 1 level, and now he's got a connection there already, which is excellent because these coaches will change jobs and they all want to move up, which is benefits you. Okay, so then we talked about who likes me is the first step. Then who do I like? And the other thing is once you hit June 15th of your sophomore year, leading up to that, I want us to be emailing the D1 schools. We have another student that committed to Duke on June 17th of his sophomore year. We were emailing Duke since 7th grade. He had gone to 5 Duke ID camps by the time 9th grade hit. And he was very good, of course, but they knew who he was. And they also knew he was ready to say yes in 10th grade because they knew he had explored other options. College coaches don't want to make you an offer unless they know that you would say yes or think they would say yes to you, like proposing. You're not going to propose to your wife, future wife, thinking she may or may not say yes. They want to go, hey, we really like you, and we kind of know you're going to say yes. And the way they were confident, that student, his name's Ethan Congleton, the way they knew he was going to say yes is because he had gone to many ID camps, and they knew that he loved that school, and that was his dream school. And on June 15th, all the schools called him. Duke did not call him. And the family was upset with me to some degree because that's why they brought me on. But I said, look, be patient. It's not done yet. We're going to get other interest. IU called him and basically made an offer. And then he told Duke, hey, look, Duke, you're my dream school, but if you don't talk to me, I will have to go elsewhere. And then Duke turned around right away and came back and he committed. He was the youngest ever, according to the coach, which is unofficial news. And, I don't make that public because the family don't want me to, so I don't share that. But the point is, that's what it can do if you're really proactive, quote unquote, now. Now, you do have to be a certain level. If you're, can't juggle to 10, this is not for you. This is for the elite level 8th graders. So, having said that, I haven't really mentioned about academics. The most important thing to me is academics. I played pro soccer. I was playing JV soccer in high school. I went on to earn a full ride to play D1. I was an All-American. Tried to play pro, didn't make it initially, went to a bunch of trials, eventually did sign pro, and I made $900 and lived in a closet. I went back to school to get my master's degree while I was playing pro, and I'm really grateful I did. So even though I've talked about soccer, academics come first. But if you don't like your coach, you will be miserable. So even though I'm saying academics comes first, the truth is that if you don't love your coach, you'll have a miserable college experience. My brother had a horrible coach. My brother had to go to therapy. I'm sure you guys heard about the woman at Stanford who committed suicide. It's hard to say why, of course, but this can be a very stressful process. So we want to make sure your coach is a lovely person because, one, you need to get along with your coach, but two, they're going to bring in people on the team, and you want to trust that they're going to bring in good people that you feel safe around. When I was at my brother, one of the students was a version of bipolar, and he brought a gun to school, and my brother had to report it. It was a horrible experience for our whole family. Now, that's an extreme, but I want you to make sure you find the right coach. So, having said that, what do I cost and how does it look, which I know you're wondering, all reasonable. So here's what that looks like. So the first thing is, when I'm working with students I want unlimited videos. So if you work with sports recruits or NCSA, which you might do, first of all, I obviously don't love their programs. They serve a purpose for some people, but if you just go to their Instagram, which we can do together. So this is NCSA's Instagram. These are schools that typically, if you're working with me, this is not what we're aiming for. Nothing against these schools, but Milligan, Weber, Wittenberg, these are what are called USCAA schools, which is not NCAA. It's not even NAIA. And there's actually a student on here who's my student who at some point probably had an account and they claimed him. He went to Point Loma, and this is, this student right here who went to a traditional top D2 school. This is my student that, they quote unquote put on their page. So what I'm saying is, as you look at these schools, for the most part, these are not schools we're probably going to be aiming for. So from my perspective, sorry, you won't see my face for the rest of this. I apologize. This is me playing pro soccer when I was living in Sweden. I speak Swedish now too, which was because of college soccer. So having said that, when I'm working with students, it's unlimited edited videos. They'll do like 2 videos for you, and they're not really done well because it's not done by a soccer person. It's just done by an editor. You have the email system. You must meet with me every single week the first month. That is mandatory. With NCSA, even if you buy their highest package, you meet with them twice. And if in 3 months' time you're not being genuinely recruited by a D3 school, which obviously hopefully shows that I believe you will start being recruited by D3 school, I will refund you and I'll give you your money back. So this is an annual fee. And the way it works with me is we are unlimited with you for a year. After the year, the goal is you do not need me for the rest of the recruiting process and you know what to do. Now, some people say, you know what, Zev, I want you every single year with unlimited access. And the student that got the 100K scholarship that I described before, the Lila family, Ethan Congleton, that was the role they took, but they were done recruiting by sophomore year. So it didn't take until senior year necessarily. But some people want that model. The one thing I'll tell you is after the first year, no matter what, you get to keep the email system for life and all the videos and the Google Drive. You keep all that forever. But if after the year you say, hey, Zev, we don't need you until maybe 9th grade or 10th grade, just given the time frame we start, then we create a custom plan. I'm here to help you guys play college soccer, and I want to make sure that we can help you. Now, some people say, wow, Zev, $5,000 is a lot to play college soccer. The goal here is that you're getting 5 times that in scholarship as well as in value, meaning you're going to find a coach you love, which I can't put a value on that. You're going to find people that maybe you'll find your significant other love. I found my significant other at college, or a job with a connection with somebody you find in college. So my goal is to make sure you're happy wherever you go. And so this is the final piece, and this is hopefully where I would say, I've scared you away, you don't want to work with me, and then you can, find your own path. But if you still want to work with me and you still want to play college soccer, here's the last piece. Thank you for listening to this. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Here's the last thing. So when you work with me, you're going to get a coach plus me. The reason there's 2 of us is I need to look up camps for you. I have to edit all your videos. I have to go over whatever you've written email-wise. I have to create your list of schools. And I have to go to NCAA conferences all the time. And I have to talk to college coaches. Now, I can never directly connect you to a coach. It is illegal and against the NCAA. Now, I do know lots of coaches, and they message me on Instagram, and they know where our students have gone to school. So they know me, and they like our students. I'm going to show you one more example. We got a text from a coach, which was really cool, where he texted me. He goes, look, I know this was your student, even though I'm not supposed to connect anybody, because this was just a couple days ago, because she says she seems like she takes on, she doesn't mind GPA. Okay, that was it. And then right here he explains, look, I knew she was yours because, right here, she goes, nice. I could tell she was yours because she knew we had a 442, because I make sure that the students are really well educated and well spoken before they speak to the coaches. So he knew it was my student, and I hadn't told him. And he goes, look, I know it was yours because of the emails and the videos that we do, but I can never directly connect you. It's just against the NCAA rules. So I want to edit all your videos. I also want to do game review. One of the beauties of starting in 8th grade is if I'm with a junior, I don't have time to go through the game with them and make them a better player. In 8th grade, I can look at your clips and go, hey, I need more clips of you scoring. I need more clips of your through balls. I need more clips of your defending. And league games for you are irrelevant, meaning nobody's coming to watch your league games typically, for the most part, for recruiting purposes. So league games are really just the way we get really good video. And so I may say to you in a game, hey, I don't care if you mess up every time. I need this clip. I need to show the coaches you can do this. So you mess up every time, but then I get the one clip I need, and we send that to the coaches. And then you get the Google Drive and the email system. And then, like as I said, we split it up into 3 payments. And if after the very first month you say that this was great, but we don't want this any longer, then I'll stop all future payments and we're done. And depending on how much work we did, I can maybe give a partial refund. Or we go, hey, look, you spent $1,000 or $1,666, and that's it. And we just stop right there. And that's okay too. And you don't get to keep all of our tools, of course, but the goal here is that you love working with us, and we're going to be with you and help you through this entire recruiting process because we want to help you do that. And then this is the final piece. This is when I would ask you, why do you think you're a good fit to work with us? And the reason I ask that is because I want to make sure that, one, you believe in us, but also I want to hear from you, because college coaches are going to ask you that question, and we want to coach you through how to answer that and what makes you the exception. I don't work with that many students, so I want to work with students that are the most committed and frankly are the most passionate. I was never the highest level player. I was playing JV soccer as a junior in high school. I went on to get a full scholarship and become an All-American and then play pro, but nobody really believed in me. So if you're not the most talented ever, that for me is not really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the most passionate, the most committed, the people that say, I cannot breathe without soccer. Those are the students I'd like to work with. And those are students that I think I can help the most. So here's the last thing, and we'll talk about this on our call, is earlier today in this little video, I said we have to decide if we're going to work together by the end of this video. I need to know by the end of our call when we meet if you want to work with us. And if you're concerned that you're not quite at that stage, go watch my videos. I post 12 times a day take all the content. It's all free and you can take it and use it. Some people just get recruited off the content alone, and that's awesome. I'm super happy about that. It's for the people that want a higher scholarship, a higher level team, who want to make sure they've researched everything and want to have peace of mind. That's who I'm for when it comes to an individual level. I know you may have some questions, which I'm happy to answer on our call. I do want to hear from you. I was trying to scare you away a little bit, but if I haven't, that's a really good sign. I'm looking forward to talking to you, and I'll just do a gentle reminder. Please watch these videos before our call. They're going to be in the email a couple times as we send them to you, so you can decide, is it right to start early for you? Because when we get on the call, I don't want to be there to try and convince you. That's not my role on the call that we have. My role is to see if we're the right fit to get started. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you soon.